Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the members of the panel for being here today. Chairman, I think you state correctly here, the United States is currently under attack by the Communist Chinese Party, particularly through its cyber operations currently underway. China's offensive hacking capabilities are larger than that of every other nation combined. Salt Typhoon, Volt Typhoon, Silk Typhoon, Flax Typhoon. It's clear these operations are nefarious and they are coordinated. As evidenced by the work of this committee and the intelligence community members who are here today, thank you. We know that China has infiltrated our critical infrastructure, attacked our key telecommunications. I believe that the U.S. must end our era of reactionism and platitudinal defense. We must pursue a new approach rooted in deterrence and holding bad actors accountable. Look, I'm a former counterintelligence officer who's worked in China. You have all done your job. You've seen the adversary front on. I served as the director of cybersecurity at the National Security Council, and this has been an evolving threat, but it is one that we have not even begun to deter in an effective way. I believe that while traditional forces in our military prepare for a kinetic response in cyber, we must be more adaptable. We must be able to operate where the CCP has been operating every day. Mr. Joyce, your arguments, I think, are effective. We must be able to operate offensive cyber operations, disrupt their capabilities, target economic sanctions must be part of the toolkit here, public indictment, coordinated international law enforcement actions, diplomatic pressure, export controls, intelligence sharings, the list goes on. The challenge is the actions have not followed suit. I believe that we must have a whole-of-government response, and I hope that this administration is prepared to stand up to China in a bipartisan way. So let's get started with this. Director Gallinet, you are the Cyber Executive Director for Cyber Threat Intelligence Integration at ODNI. We both serve there together. Thank you very much for your service on this. I want to be very specific here. Did the Chinese Ministry of State Security coordinate the Typhoon attacks?
They directed them through a contractor.
Did the MSS coordinate attacks that impacted both President Trump and, at the time, candidate Kamala Harris?
There's reporting of that, public reporting.
At the unclassed level, do we believe that they were the ones behind the assault on our 9 largest telcos?
Salt Typhoon is the group associated with the MSS and their contractors behind this activity.
Did the MSS also direct attacks on our Department of Treasury just this year?
Yes.
Did every American citizen who uses one of those telcos become a target of the MSS with their operation?
They had the ability to go after a variety of subscribers to these different telcos.
So from the president down to everyday American citizens, the MSS is casting a wide net. Can you talk to me about, at a top level, have you seen a response that would deter the MSS at this point?
The response is beginning, but at this point, this activity continues. And over the last several years, more offensive espionage collection efforts, in addition to offensive pre-positioning efforts, have occurred.
I want to highlight the chart behind me here. Look, there are ways that we know the MSS operates. First and foremost, did any of these actors, unlike what maybe Russia would do, is say a cyber criminal element did this, do we think that any of these actors within China are operating autonomously? Or is the MSS directing and giving them a cyber target to go after?
I don't know the actors directly behind you, but generally, the actors within China, within their contracting ecosystem, are directed by and are paid by the MSS, and in some cases, the PLA.
So no one's doing this rogue. This is a coordinated effort by top leaders within the MSS.
Yes.
The actors behind me identify one of the last cyber attacks. Now, the FBI sent out warrants. We've identified them. There's a clear command and control structure within the MSS. And I would argue that one of the best ways to go after this is to go after top leadership rather than just the defensive operations that we've done. Mr. Joyce, in our remaining moments here, what would be some of the top things that the U.S. can do to hold MSS actors accountable?
So first, I think it's a mindset, and the committee today is putting a stark spotlight on that. Imagine, if you will, we found the Chinese intelligence service pre-positioning Semtex explosives in our ports and on our pipelines. We wouldn't tolerate that, right? We would respond, and I don't see us responding with the force and the vigor with all elements of the government capabilities, like they have pre-positioned explosives on our infrastructure. And that, in effect, is what they have done. So it is the increase and focus across all of the elements you mentioned, resourcing them and getting behind, pushing back so there are real consequences each time we catch them doing this.
Thank you, Mr. Joyce. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I yield my time back. Appreciate it.